Top 10 Racing Games. Number 10 is Car X Drift Racing. Car X Drift Racing is a 3D racing game where your main goal is not to be the first to cross the finish line, but rather to do so drifting as well as possible in order to win the most points possible. Car X Drift Racing players can also choose between different ways to control their vehicle. Though by default you will have virtual gas and brake pedals, and you will control the direction of the car by tilting the device from side to side. In addition to being able to configure the control system, you can also change the camera angle from which you want to see the vehicle. You can zoom in or out in order to see a different perspective. The best thing about it is that you can even see the replays of your best moments of the race in the replay mode. Number 9. Gear Club. Gear Club is a 3D racing game that puts you behind the wheel of different cars, many of them real models like the Mercedes-AMG C63S and AMG GTS, the Ford Mustang, or the Lotus Elise 220 Cup. The game offers 3 different control systems that adapt to the demands and needs of each player. Plus, as soon as you complete a few races, you can also calibrate your steering and braking boosters to suit your needs. Careful, though, as leaning too much on your boosters can make the game too easy to be any fun. Between races you can upgrade your garage. Not only can you buy vehicles and tune up the ones you've already got there, you can also buy expansions for your garage. After a few rounds you can create a proper performance shop where you kit out all your cars. Another cool thing about Gear Club is that you can compete either against the AI in one-player races or against your friends online. In the online races you have to try to get the best time so your friends can try to beat it. Gear Club is a brilliant racing game in all respects: awesome graphics, lots of control options, and in general a system that runs great on Android. Number 8 is Race Kings. Race Kings is a 3D driving game where you compete in short races where the name of the game is drifting. The driver with the best drifting at the end of the race is the winner. But getting a good start doesn't hurt, either. Gameplay in Race Kings is simple. On the right side of the screen, there's an accelerator you have to hold down when you're driving straight and tap intermittently when you drift. On the other side of the screen, there's a hand-operated brake. Tap on the brake right when you enter a turn to drift into it. The races in Race Kings are very short, most barely a minute long. In the majority of races, you have to complete 2 laps, drifting as much as you can to beat your opponent. While drifting helps you win, it's also important to use the money you earn to improve your car. You can buy all kinds of improvements for the engine, wheels, brakes, steering wheel, and more. Race Kings is a fun and fast-paced driving game with simple gameplay and absolutely spectacular graphics. From the options menu, you can adjust the graphics, choosing between different types of quality and resolution. Number 7 is Rebel Racing. Rebel Racing is a 3D driving game where you can get behind the wheel of dozens of vehicles from real car makers and compete on tracks set in the US West Coast. Your aim: to become the fastest racer in the USA. The controls in Rebel Racing are very simple. On the sides of the screen are your buttons to rotate, and on the right, once it loads, is also your turbo button. That said, you can normally only use the turbo once per race, so you should think carefully about when you want to roll it out. A turbo at the right moment could spell the difference between victory and defeat. At the start of Rebel Racing you've got just one vehicle in your garage and a couple of tracks to drive on. But as you play and win races you can upgrade your vehicle. And when you do, you can take part in better competitions where you can win even better cars. Plus you can customize your cars as desired with all sorts of pieces. Rebel Racing is a spectacular driving game with lovely graphics, controls that are perfect for touch screens, and an enormous number of vehicles and tracks. An outstanding title that should obviously be particularly fun for those with a need for speed. Number 6 is GT Racing 2. GT Racing 2, The Real Car EXP is a racing game developed by the makers of Asphalt. Players can participate in online multiplayer races or alone against the computer. The numbers for GT Racing numbers 2, The Real Car EXP are really spectacular. It has over 30 different manufacturers with a total of 67 vehicles, including Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari, Dodge, Nissan, Audi and Ford. In addition, there are 13 real racetracks, including the famous Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. If the awesome number of vehicles and tracks were not enough, GT Racing 2, The Real Car EXP also offers over 1,000 different races to show off your ability. When you compete in these races, you can participate in leaderboards and compare your times with your friends. One of the most striking elements of GT Racing 2, The Real Car EXP is that you can race using any of the 4 available cameras. So you can get an up-close and personal experience with the first-person view or a more traditional and distant view with the arcade mode. GT Racing 2, The Real Car EXP is one of the most powerful driving games for Android for 2013. Number 5 is CarX Highway Racing. Get behind the wheel of more than a dozen cars in the exciting 3D driving game CarX Highway Racing. Not only are the cars inspired by real vehicles, but these races are unique for one big reason. There's no rules. Buckle up, and try to avoid the police while racing through crowded highways. CarX Highway Racing has 2 different control systems to choose from. In the first, you'll control your car simply by tapping buttons on the screen, while the second uses your Android device's accelerometer. But no matter which system you choose, CarX Highway Racing has very accurate controls. But CarX Highways Racing really stands out for its loads of game mode. Compete in story mode, long ride, survive, X-race, and more. Not only that, there's 20 cars to unlock, and you can upgrade and customize each one. With multiple camera perspectives and control systems, tons of content, and spectacular graphics, especially when you're flying down the highway. CarX Highway Racing is an excellent 3D driving game. Number 4 is NASCAR Heat Mobile. NASCAR is the common name of the championship, organized by the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. Even if you're not a great fan, you've probably seen movies based on the competitions that take place on oval-shaped tracks, videos of accidents, and surely 1 or 2 video games, such as NASCAR Heat Evolution for PS4, PC, and Xbox. Well, smartphones couldn't be anything less, and that's why we got a video game for Android and iPhone based on the above-mentioned titles. We're talking about NASCAR Heat Mobile, a stunning racing game based on this car racing championship sponsored by Monster Energy. A great NASCAR game for Android. Download the APK and live. On the one hand, all the tension and excitement of the races, with great graphics. It recreates all the speed and frenzy of the competition on the hard-to-master oval track, where it's very easy to lose control of your car and crash into other races. On the other hand, You'll also have to take control of your team, managing all the improvements you can implement on your car in the garage and controlling the facilities to end up creating a car empire if you're good at it.
Careful, still there. Still there?
Number 3 is F1 Mobile Racing. F1 Mobile Racing is the official FIA Formula 1 World Championship game which puts you behind the wheel of a bunch of real vehicles and challenges you to compete in some of the World Championship official circuits. As you may already imagine, you can compete against some of the world's best pilots such as Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen or Fernando Alonso. Gameplay in F1 Mobile Racing is totally customizable. In other words, you have the chance to play with a virtual steering wheel, touch-screen controls or an accelerometer. If you pick that last option, you can just tilt your smartphone from one side to the other to turn your vehicle, just like you do with your real car. F1 Mobile Racing can be played online, which lets you compete against other players in individual duels or drive solo and compete against the artificial intelligence in quick rounds. You can earn a ton of different rewards with either mode and use those rewards to customize and upgrade your vehicles. Number 2 is Asphalt 9 Legends. Asphalt 9 Legends is an amazing 3D driving game where you speed around in fast cars on routes set all around the world. Gameplay in Asphalt 9 Legends is perfectly adapted to smartphones. On the left side of the screen, there's a button for drifting, and on the right part, there's a turbo button. By simply sliding your finger left to right, you can turn. In Asphalt 9 Legends, not only are there different tournaments and game modes, but there's also a multiplayer mode for proving who's the best driver in the world. But no matter what you choose, the single-player story mode has more than 800 tracks set all around the world, ready and waiting. In terms of graphics, Asphalt 9 Legends is absolutely spectacular, just like the rest of the saga. On smartphones with higher resolution, the quality of the models and textures are as good as anything you can find on new consoles or PCs. Asphalt 9 Legends is an amazing driving game that raises the bar of a saga that, installment after installment, proves it's the best driving game available on Android. Number 1 is Need for Speed.
El tiempo es el fuego en el que ardemos.
Nice ride. But I'm gonna need those keys right now. I said right now!
Need for Speed No Limits is a 3D racing game that continues down the path started by NFS, Most Wanted, and NFS, Underground, offering a playing experience that's perfectly adapted to touchscreen devices. Players can get behind the steering wheels of some of the world's most powerful real cars, like the Subaru BRZ, the BMW M4, the McLaren 650, and even the Porsche 911. Also, as is traditionally the case with this franchise, you'll find dozens of different options when it comes to tuning and customizing each of the game's cars to adapt itself perfectly to its medium, Android. Need for Speed No Limits comes with much shorter and more hectic races than the ones you'll find in the game for consoles or PC. Most of the races last around 30 seconds, more than enough time to taste victory or suffer a bitter defeat. Plus you'll find more than 1,000 different races set on different tracks. Need for Speed No Limits default controls are quite smooth. The car accelerates automatically and you'll have to control the direction you turn by touching each side of the screen. If you slide your finger upwards, you'll activate the nitro. As is typical in this saga, winning races will earn you money and boost your reputation. You'll need the money for buying new vehicles and tuning the ones you already have in the garage, while your reputation will pave the way for you in the streets. Need for Speed No Limits is a very good racing game with excellent graphics, quite a long story mode, and a polished control system.
It'll be part of a convoy.
What are you thinking?
Quick hit and run. Get me close to the truck and I'll take care of the rest. Get me close to that truck before it hits the tunnel. The house won't let us anywhere near the truck. We gotta take out those cars. Get rid of these guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get that truck.
Look out! Shit! Damn it!
What the hell?
This guy's out of his mind.
There's something much bigger going on here.
What's the play?
Forget the tunnel. We get him before he reaches the city.
Guys, more house cars headed your way.
These guys are tougher.
Freaking tanks is what they are.
They're going down either way.
Take him out, Ty.
Guys, city's coming up fast. Jess, I've got a really bad idea.
Mac?
Ladder on the side. You can get up on his right.
It's now or never, Jess.
Do it. Keep it steady.
Jump!
Jess, you got this?
Jess!
I got this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good job, team. Let's take this baby home.
Let's see what she can do. Okay, boys. Let's even the odds.